Brianka J. I'm back again. I'm on a roll. I don't know. Maybe 2022 is my year, y'all. Because what is it, like my third or fourth day showing up in a row consecutively? I mean, I know some people show up every day. But we're not talking about those people. We're talking about me. Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Lit for Books or Book Talk, whatever you want to call it, whatever you feel comfortable with it. I'm your host, Brianka J. And we're going to talk about Charles Dickens' books, Hard Times. And I was going through my notes, and I had to cross-examine it with my channel, because I was surprised I've never talked to you guys about Charles Dickens before. Because, he was the fucking GOAT. Like, Charles Dickens was the goddamn GOAT for a lot of reasons. Like, he is, like, one of my, like, idols. Like, if I could go back in time and talk to somebody, I would have to talk to Charles Dickens, because not only was he a very talented writer, he also got filthy fucking rich. And, yeah, these are two of my, long lifetime dreams, to get filthy fucking rich and to become one of the most talented writers in the world. He accomplished both. And so I think he has a wealth of knowledge to share. Today's video, we're going to talk about Hard Times, his work in Hard Times. This book was really interesting. I think it was like his 12th book at that time. But before we get started, I'm going to tell you everything I know. But before we get started, I do want to ask you guys to support me in any way that feels right for you. I would love if you could subscribe, comment, or like this video if it helps you or if this channel helps you at all. Also, I do have my own books published, children's books, as well as ebooks, as well as short stories that you can find in different like literary journals across the internet and bookstores. So if you just dig in my description box below, you will be able to get an idea of what I do and what my interests are. And if anything is helpful to you and your business, then I would absolutely love if you purchase a copy. Every copy helps me to eat a new meal. It's helped me eat. I'm also a web designer, guys. I do websites for small business owners, and I help them to bring in an online presence. If that is something that you need or someone in your family needs, let them know about me. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to pull up. Now, without further ado, let's talk about Charles Dickens. So, Charles Dickens was born in 1812. So, he's born in 1812, and for a little while, and I do mean a short while, he is in, school. He is then pulled out of school, and his parents and his family all are enrolled into a debtor's prison, y'all. This kid grew up in prison. He starts working at age 12. He has, a real job at age 12, and then he learns to write in shorthand. So he gets a job as a court reporter. This is one of his first jobs. He gets a job as a court reporter. He learns to write in shorthand. And that's when he starts to create his short stories and things like that. He creates this one serialized magazine, I guess it would be called now. It's called The Adventures of the Pickwick Chronicles. And he actually went on tour reading different chapters of his book aloud. So the book Hard Times is actually the completed serialized magazine, because he was going week by week. He would upload it. Well, he'd go upload a chapter, read out loud, share it across the nation, and then he'd do a new chapter, and people would gather weekly to hear the new story, the continued version of what happened. So if you read Hard Times, what is really interesting is that every chapter nearly closes out to a complete finish, and then it opens up and you're in a completely new scene. And that's because that's how he was writing it. He had to close it out to bring a good hard close, because again, he was sharing it as short stories rather than a complete novel at the time. So that's an interesting fact. Through his work, through doing these tours and these serialized magazines and then republishing them into novels, Charles Dickens goes from debtor's prison, pulled out of school, too broke to to eat a sandwich, and he is able to replace his family arms. Yes, he is. Ain't God good? I'm telling you, nothing but his hard-earned talent and his determination got him to a place. Not only was he no longer in poverty, he was able to really rise up the ranks and become upper class. And shout out to him. Like, that's really cool. It's always been super cool to me. I've always respected Dickens for his determination, his ambition, and his vision to see that shit through. I always thought that was really cool. Plus, he is like a highly critical individual when it comes to sociology and society and societal norms. So, Hard Times talks about how the progress of a nation by use of industrialization will bankrupt the society of morality, civility, and emotional values. It's pretty much, that's a lot, but that's what it's about, right? So Dickens combines like realism. So in the book you'll see they have prostitution, poverty, industrialism. He combines like these ideas of realism with satire and romanticism. And what he's trying to really talk about is the condition of England in like the 1850s. And a lot of his work is inspired by Frederick Engels, and you may remember him. He wrote the Communist Manifesto, and what he pretty much argues is that all of London's celibacy, because London is highly celebrated, and this is going all the way back to the 1800s, all of their celibacy is a direct result of human suffering. So he's like, the more popular this country gets, the more you praise them for their technological advances, the more you praise them for their ability to produce. That is, you can almost just be sure that the people are suffering more and more. So the higher the higher they go in popularity, the deeper they go into suffering. An inverse relationship almost. And so what we have here is a booming populations, 1845 to 1850. London, England is the most celebrated city due to industrialization, transportation, and the emergence of wealth. There is no government assistance, no workers' rights, or minimum wage at this time. So Dickens then decides, I'm going to write Hard Times. And the purpose of the novel, Hard Times, is his own personal moral crusade. And it reflects the ideas set forth by Engels and enlightens the issues of like Reformation from the Victorian era. He literally just wanted to write a book where he just trash talked his home city and pointed out all its unique faults at the time. And he really wanted to just focus on how it negates certain systems like utilitarianism, factory workers, education systems. And so if you look at it, I think the first page, paragraph 1, we start learning about facts. I think they are presented in this school. This is a very small school building. And Mr. Gradgrind is telling his workers that the only thing the kids need to know, the only thing of service to them will be facts. And this is inspired by the rise of expertise and university education. The relationship between education and factory workers is that I need that person to be able to run my factory, and it's like this from the school to the factory, I would need this person to be able to work, and the best worker would be one who is stripped from their humanity, right? Like, I just need this, I want a machine, I want a robot. I don't need someone calling in because their grandma's sick, and I don't need someone worried about morality. I just want them to function. And so we see this. Gradgrind and his family does everything by the fact. The school, Bounderby, factory owners, everything is about the facts. It's all about, and when it comes to the facts, it's almost like it's about that bottom line. It's about that profit, that capitalistic attitude. It kind of starts here, you know. You also have Cicely Duke, and she represents the culture side of the Dionysian aspect of Roman nature. I think Cicely is just a more naturalistic of a human being. Then we have Louisa, and she's a rich factory owner, and she becomes, I'm sorry, I can't even read what I said. Logic and rationale ruin her, right? It just ruins her. So then we have upper class values measured by GDP as approved to morality. We have the workers versus the owners. We have all these things happening, right? And it's a time dominated by science. Everybody is just astonished by the scientific progress that's being made. But the hard times itself looks at the humanity of the people. So outside of the science, how are the people around being treated? How are they living? What type of conditions are they facing? And what we see is that is a moral fable describing the current issues of that time. And it advances the read for poverty. I don't know. They said if we advance something, the need for poverty declines. I need to work on my handwriting, y'all. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. I was like, what did I try to write here? What was I trying to say? But ultimately, so yeah, you got this guy basically exploring everything about London, England, and saying that in every way that it is becoming wealthy, in every way that it is becoming this great nation, the people who live here are suffering deeply, poverty-stricken, losing their morality, losing their values, traditions. Yeah. That's Charles Dickens, y'all. That's Hard Times. If you've read it and you love it, then drop me a comment. Let me know how you feel about the book. Let me know what you think about Charles Dickens' amazing life. And I guess we could talk more soon. Catch up with you later.